No one is coming. No one. Nobody's coming to push you. No one is coming to instruct you to switch off the television. No one is going to urge you to get out and exercise. Nobody is coming to tell you to apply for the job you always wanted. Nobody is coming to write the business strategy for you. It is up to you to stand up and march towards the problem. Whatever the challenge is, attack it. And you may be successful or unsuccessful, but you will be better off when every boy realizes is no one coming to save him. And this is when he matures into a man, and other boys never make it there, remaining state children forever. Nobody cares about you. And I mean this in the best positive, hopeful, encouraging, and motivational way possible. As a result, it exerts some control over your thinking. In truth, nobody gives a shit. Nobody has time for you in this world because everyone is so focused on themselves. Look about you. There were no fucking teams. There was you. There was no weight loss program or mother and father waking you up with the message that you can do it, you can do better, trying to instill belief. You created belief when you had nothing. I found myself in a situation I had never imagined. I used to wake up every morning tied to the bed with fear, and I transformed into someone I scarcely recognized. And you know what it is. The interesting thing about being stuck in life is that you already know what you need to do. That's the easiest part. It's all about how you motivate yourself to do what you need to do when you're terrified, overwhelmed, or anxious. The million-dollar question is, if you're despairing, despondent, or anything else that happens to you as a human, and because you'll only ever do things that you want to do or that make you happy right now until you comprehend what you have. To parent yourself, you have to push yourself. You're not going to make your fantasies come true. You just aren't. We aren't wired that way. You weren't that way growing up, and you certainly aren't that way now. And there's a huge sense of liberation that comes from accepting that you'll always need to push yourself. We do not want to be left alone with ourselves. So we come in, sit down, and either use our phones or switch on the television. Alternatively, we travel wherever and do whatever we want because we don't want to confront the reality of being alone with ourselves. Begin by finding a mate with whom you are at ease and then work on becoming comfortable with yourself. I spent 99% of my life training alone. Nobody gave me a pat on the back. I completed all of the work on my own. And while I'm still critical of myself, I know what I accomplished. You know, if you want to build something of importance in this life, you have to be willing to be alone for a while, forge on your own, and go on walks alone. I just have horrible news for everyone. Nobody cares if you don't have time to practice. Nobody cares whether you can grow up with money. Nobody cares if you come from a terrible neighborhood. Nobody cares about your troubles. Stop wallowing in self-pity. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Remember that no one will help you. You must save yourself. It appears that my concept of personal development requires me to fall into or dig a hole, only to realize that no one is going to rescue me, and that if I want to get out of the hole, I'll need to build a freaking ladder. It does not sound good to say that. You are in control. No one is coming to save you, but that is what works. Mm-hmm. And so if you follow Kobe Bryant's advice, which is that liquor does not prevent dunks, and the idea that you can become so brilliant at something that no one can stop you from achieving. And I promise you that every single person who wants to achieve something with their life or has done something with their lives has gone through the same chapter that you are. And this is the lonely chapter. It's a chapter in which you don't fit in with your own bodies. but don't have the necessary outcomes to fit in. You've joined a new circle of friends, and you're wondering if it's all worth it, because you show no signs of achievement. But if you take anything away from what we've said so far, it's that the hatred you receive along the way is a sign of accomplishment. First of all, no one is coming. I mean, if you've been sitting around waiting for someone to find you, pick you up, save you, rescue you, or give you a chance, that's not going to happen. Like, at some point, you have to wake up and realize when you reach the age of 18, you are responsible for your own upbringing. Your life is your duty. No one is going to save you. We cannot do this for you. You must be the primary driver of this voyage. It is not what others think. This is your life. But if it's your life, you have to be prepared to pay the price. There will be times in your life when no one will come to support you or help you. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to rescue you. You have to drag yourself out of the abyss of sadness and put forth the effort. Everything about it emphasizes accountability. Everything about it is self-discipline. Everything about it indicates that no one will save you. No one is going to walk out of the woods and say, hey, I got your back, man. I want to get you out of this, to guard. I have to do everything on my own now. Do you know? But that is the truth. I had to do it on my own, just as he did. You have to do things on your own sometimes. You only need to be able to save yourself. I'm not going to say it was easy, but I needed to learn it. You must accept your own responsibilities. No one is going to save you. You need to do it. You need to learn to pick yourself up on your own. Many of these clashes and skirmishes need you to be your own coach. You have to be your own motivation. You have a long trip ahead of you, since you will discover that despite your father's abuse of you, you will have to make it on your own. You need to look at your own life and realize, okay, you either have to reform yourself or prove everyone else wrong. You have to look at your own life and ask yourself, what do I need to change to be successful? And people do not want to do it. It's easier to try to prove the other person wrong. I mean, honestly, I don't mind being alone. I don't mind being on my own. I don't care about taking risks because I've been on my own for a long time now. Everything was risky. Going to school, going out to lunch, and so on were all risks. People struggle to do things alone. And the root of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means you are not with other people. And rather than arguing or complaining about it, consider it an indicator that you're on the right track. If everyone else is cheering you on, it implies you're not in the proper place, since you're just like everyone else, which is not where you want to be. You have to be alone in a dark area in your thoughts to consider what is important to you. So you're going to feel this sorrow of being excluded from your old circle of pals, but you're caught in this muddled middle where you haven't yet figured out who you are on the other side of this. And that lonely chapter that in the between is something that I and probably everyone I've ever known has gone through when transitioning from where they are to where they want to be. You must make that start. You must separate yourself from the group. You must be willing to spend time with oneself. You have to make sacrifices. I knew no one would come back to aid me. Nobody is going to miraculously transform me into someone special. All of my issues were now totally my responsibility. It's almost 3 a.m. The issue is, man, it will always be a party. There will always be a moment to celebrate and gather with friends. I mean, the bars are always open. They are always open, regardless of your age, you know?
Sure.
What isn't always available is the opportunity to tick the box in life. You must fulfill your dreams. That is not always open. I'm currently discussing the minor milestones between the large successes that everyone notices. Nobody sees this right now. I'm saying there's confidence in it, man. This is a horrible motherfucker right here. Getting ahead of the competition brings an overwhelming sense of contentment, pride, and satisfaction. Successful individuals have perfected the skill of spending time alone. When I spend time with myself and get into my head and heart, I understand my behaviors and my belief system, and I know what I need to do and how I need to accomplish it, as well as where I need to send my energy and how I need to execute throughout the day. It is a superpower when you spend that time alone where you may think, pray, and concentrate without interruption from others. You can grow something. Spending time alone is the only location where you can have these conversations. Yet most of us avoid being alone because we are afraid to have them. The difficulty now is that we believe there is only one word for being alone, which we call loneliness. We forgot about the second word. It's called solitude. Solitude and loneliness, they may appear to be the same from the outside, but they are radically different. Solitude is the strength of being alone, whereas loneliness is the weakness. I don't appreciate many people, but the ones I do respect are those who are unusual among unusual people. And it means that I'm like those who are not scared to stand alone. I'm very comfortable in my own mind. I'm pretty fine being alone for hours or days at a time. The only constant company you will have is yourself. No one is coming. No one.